What's up YouTube, this is Santos representing Neo Overlay Network. I'm back to show you guys another follow-up video for the Lunalight deck profile. This time is going to be a combo video. I'm going to show you what you guys could do with what you have, these few cards, depending what you have, and I wanted to just give you a rundown on what they do. The thing with these combo videos is that with Lunalights especially, it's not really combo, it's more of just producing just one big monster on the board. But I wanted to show you guys what you can do going first and second with Lunalights. And so for the first off, I'm just gonna explain going first. What thing with Lunalights, when you go first, it's not as strong going second, as I mentioned in the other videos or my profile. Lunalights, you're trying to go second and try to O2K, but if you're forced to go first, you miss the die roll, miss rock paper scissors. I'm going to show you what the key signature thing you will try to do. All you need is Lunalight Combos for this, because she is your main monster. She's really good, and all you do with Lunalights, well, just using her going first is not bad, because you could just normal summon her. Since she's, you could activate her effect of sending a monster from the extra deck or from your deck to the graveyard, and that's a cost. Even if they ash you, that's a cost to activate her effect. And her effect of she becomes the name of whatever you're sent to the graveyard. That you really don't mind that. You don't really care about that. The only thing you care is sending, especially Yellow Marten, to the graveyard. She's one of the best ones, depending on how you want to go and how what you open up. I'll say she's like, just for these two cards, I'm just saying if you had just her in your hand, this is what you pretty much try to do going first, because Lunalight's not really meant to go first. You could loop Lunalight Yellow Marten, because when she's in the graveyard, you could target one of your Lunalights and add it back to your hand, and special summon her in defense position. But when she leaves the field, she gets banished instead. So going first, I mean, sometimes when I was playing online, I had to do this because I'm going first. I was forced to go first, and you don't really want to do that. You don't want to waste everything from your hand, start building a board, because Lunalight doesn't really build boards. If you need to take damage, that's fine, because as you see, if I had this one card, plus if I went first, I had 4 cards in hand. Normal summon her, 4 cards because I normal summon her. Now I have 5 cards back in hand, and I still gonna draw my next turn if I do make it, and most likely you will. And that's if you're forced to go first. Now, for the other things, like now, if you have Lunalight Combos and a way, just say you have Yellow Marten in your hand, and plus an extender like your Lunalight Purple Butterfly. She's really good, because going first, if you're able to produce just 2 monsters, like if you do the same thing, you could just, well, not the same thing, you could use Butterfly's effect to just target one of your Lunalights to gain 1,000. This is going first, by the way. So from here, you could use Lunalight's effect, Butterflies, to banish her from your graveyard, to special summon a monster from your hand, Lunalight monsters from your hand. So this is the field center. So here, now you have 2 monsters, and what you'll try to do going first, because you are trying to stall, you're not trying to really waste too much resources. You do want your Lunalight monsters in the graveyard, because you can use Lunalight Wolf to special summon a Lunalight monster from your extra deck using monsters from your graveyard. So these 2 will pretty much become your babushka of the deck, because he is a good stall measure, and just to stall for your first few turns to add more resources back is really good, and that's what you're trying to do going first. And now going for the first 3-card combo. This you could do going first or second, but I won't really recommend you doing this going first, because the thing with Lunalights, they don't really produce boards. They only produce like one big monster, but they do have protection. That's the only thing they do. And like I'm saying, if you're forced to go first, you don't want to do build a big board, because it's easy for your opponent to out your extra deck monsters. So with this, that's why I'm saying this is more of a going second combo, but you can go do this going first. So the first thing you'll do is, like always, you could always use your Kaleido Chick just to normal summon her to send the yellow Martin, or whatever you want to call it, to the graveyard. This will be your graveyard, and from here you will activate your Black Sheep to send your Black Sheep to add your Polymerization to your hand. And so you will add your Polymerization, and from here you could use your yellow Martin to target one of your Lunalights to special summon it in defense position and add it back to your hand. And from here you had 3 monsters. You could deactivate your Polymerization to send. Well, this gets banished when she's sent to the when she's special summoned. She gets banished. The turn it's instead of sent to the field, it just gets banished. And from here you will bring out the easier Lunalight monster that's you're able to bring out is your Lunalight Saber Dancer, because she just needs three Lunalight monsters. And then from here you could activate your Lunalight Crimson Fox effect when she's sent from the to the graveyard by a card effect. You could target one of your opponent monsters and make its attack go 0. And her other effect is that she's pretty much a protection when your Lunalights is getting targeted for attack or targeted for a card effect. You could banish her and to negate the activation, but your opponent and you gain 1,000. So she has that protection. And same thing with, or not the same thing, but Lunalight Kaleido Chick, when she's sent from the field to the graveyard by a card effect, you could add a Polymerization back to your hand. And Lunalight Black Sheep, same thing, when she's sent to the field by a card effect, you can add to your hand 1 face-up Lunalight Pendulum monster from your X deck, or 1 Lunalight monster from your graveyard, except her. So you could add back your Lunalight Kaleido Chick. So you're ended up back with 2 cards in hand, and if you're plus whatever you opened up, and just 1 big beef monster that she gains 200 for each Beast Warrior in your graveyard, or that is banished in the graveyards. So she gains 2, 4, 6. So she comes out at 36 for right now. And this is what you'll try to do going first, not first, but going second. If you're like, depending on how you open up, pretty much. And from there, you go on your merry way and pretty much start attacking your opponent's monsters. And now for the last, I'll say the last 3-card combo, maybe, depending. Just all you need to have is Lunalight Perfume, Kaleido Chick, because she is the best one. Lunalight Perfume is pretty much your extender, and Lunalight Black Sheep, because it lets you add certain resources that become fodder for this combo video. So first, you could always use Lunalight Black Sheep to see if your opponent has any hand traps. You will activate it to search Polymerization. And for these combos, are always assuming that your opponent doesn't have any interruption. So you will add your Polymerization to your hand. So from here you could normal summon your Lunalight Kaleido Chick. Here you will actually use your monster from your extra deck, and this time you will send your Panther Dancer, because it's going to be something for later, but you want it in your graveyard, and she becomes her name. But you don't really care for that. You just want to send stuff in the graveyard. So from here you used her effect. Now you could use Lunalight Panther Dancer to target one of your Lunalights and special summon it. But for right now, I'm just gonna. It doesn't really matter, because the end result is still gonna be the same. I could bring out Lunalight Panther Dancer, but that's not the goal of this combo. I'm just gonna bring out Lunalight Black Sheep. And from here, you could use Lunalight. This is in your graveyard, so you could use Lunalight Perfume to banish it and send a card to your hand to the graveyard to search one of your Lunalight's monsters, and you will always search your wolf, because from here, this will be in your hand. You could use 2 monsters to make out your Verde Anaconda, because I really do cheese out Verde Anaconda to target one of your opponent's monster and make it dark. And from here you could activate that effect and see if your opponent doesn't have any negates. If they do, they negate it, that's fine, because you still have Lunalight Wolf. But for the reason of this combo, let's say it went through, and depending on what your opponent has and how many darks he has, you could bring out Verde Anaconda or the other Pretty Plant monster. But before you do that, before you bring out any send Super Poly, you'll use Lunalight Wolf to banish your Lunalight Black Sheep, your Kaleido Chick, and your Panther Dancer now, because you have her in your graveyard, to bring out your Leo Dancer. which was the best one, I'll say, because she has 2 protection. She can be targeted by card effects or destroyed by card effects. So you'll have her out now, and she makes 2 attacks during the battle phase. So I mean, and she's 35 when she comes out, so she's pretty beefy. And from here, you use Verde Anaconda to send the super polymerization to pay that 2,000 and send super polymerization to the field. Sometimes this is necessary to take out the Dragoon or something, and depending on how many darks your opponent has, you could bring out the Plant Fusion one that needs 3 darks. But most likely in every scenario that I've been playing, I always see, because most decks don't have darks, or I'm not always facing dark monsters or decks that you just have pure dark attribute monsters, and it's harder to out those decks. But I always use Verde Anaconda just to target one monster and make it dark and bring out Starved Venom, and that's pretty much what you'll do. And this is pretty much an end goal or end result with those 3 cards, and I will say this is the strongest 3-card combo in the deck, because you're able to break boards and stuff. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm gonna do the other one, because this is what you're trying to do, and it depends on what you open up, and in every scenario it just depends how you open up. And I'm just showing you what you could do with 3 cards, because seeing those 3 cards in your hand is easy sometimes, because you could search it, and sometimes you do open up because you do have multiples. So yeah, and that's pretty much it, you guys. If you guys like what we're doing, always like and subscribe. This is Santos representing Neo Overlay Network. Sign up.